No,
I'm somebody who just listened on the radio.
well, our guys played hard. It's schematically they were very challenging. They had some good thoughts against us, and I've got to do a better job of preparing our guys. They had, they do a very good job with their quarterback run game and put you in some dilemmas, and their quarterback can throw the football. And we didn't do a good job of fitting some schemes, and that falls directly on myself. I got to do a better job of making sure we're prepared to play some of those schemes that we're seeing. So we've got to obviously, it's nice to win, and give up that many points. Our offense played great, but we obviously can't allow that to happen, and we've got to get a lot of things corrected this week against a good Nebraska football team.
Coach, when you look ahead to this Nebraska team, could you kind of compare quarterback that you're going to see in Tommy Armstrong to the one we just saw in Texas State?
They're very similar. They're both very athletic. Armstrong's a bigger, thicker kid, can run, but I think both of them are very good throwers, and so I think they really want to throw the football. They both will scramble around and stay alive and try to look downfield. A lot of athletic quarterbacks, as soon as things start to break, they look to to run, and as soon as it breaks, they run. Well, these guys can buy themselves a little bit of time and still look downfield, and I think that's where they're very similar and very dangerous, both of them.
Aside from the win, your biggest takeaway from Saturday night?
Our guys still playing really hard. I mean, when you turn on the tape and you say, "Wow, that's a pretty good effort." I mean, we have some guys running to the football, and that's what we've talked about all year. Just making sure that when teams say put on the football team, they say, "Wow, look at those guys play hard," and that's what we're getting from our guys. And they're still playing with a lot of confidence, and they came back and we got problems fixed on the sideline with the plays that people hurt us with, and the fortunate part was we got the plays corrected. They didn't hit us with them twice. They hit them with us the first time with some long runs and explosive plays, and explosive plays will kill you. And fortunately, our offense was able to score a lot of points as well.
Coach, you look at the stat sheet, and Denarius has 9 tackles, Kalen has 9 tackles. Was there anybody, when you went back and watched the video, that may not stand out on the stat sheet, but you thought had a really good game, one or two guys?
Well, Brian Anderson's consistently playing well. I mean, he really is. I mean, he's silently making a lot of tackles in the bottom of the pile, and Elijah Parker's still playing. Both of those guys are playing really solid football for us, and they're really not showing up on the stat sheet. So, I'm pretty happy with both of those guys. And Elijah, we're moving him all around the football field, and that's a challenge to him. So, and our defensive line's doing. Dylan Bradley's playing very well, and Michael Smith is also playing well. And I'm trying to think of the back end. Up front, they're steady. They're not getting a lot of stats, but they're doing the things we need them to do.
Coach, do we know for sure yet if number 8 is going to be out this coming week because of the targeting call?
And we're still playing it day by day. It looks like he's going to definitely be out. At least whatever the first half he's going to sit. So, and we're getting a little thin back there with Foster being out and Truly being the backup. Now it puts us with a little bit of guys going to have to step up and play. Some of the Picasso will be in there, and we'll see who the other safety is going to be at this point in time. It's up in the air.
Obviously, a long year ahead, but to see on paper Southern Miss is 2-1 for the first time in a while, being over 500. What does that mean to you?
It's a lot better than being 1-2. We've been in that situation, but like I said, I think our guys really have bought into the whole, Coach Monken and Coach Woodfin and the whole scheme, and there's just a different vibe. There's a different, there's a lot of positive attitude right now, and a lot of confidence. That the guys got a little bounce in their step, and that's been consistent all the way since camp started. I've noticed a difference in just their attitudes and the confidence level. It's nice to see that.
Coach Monken talked about this game being a measuring stick once again, kind of like Mississippi State was. Can you kind of talk about that?
Well, Nebraska's a good football team. for us, you know, defensively, they're going to be a big challenge. You know, Armstrong's a very capable quarterback that can throw it and run it, and he's got, you know, the kind of a throwback offense where they're going to be a big physical downhill running zone team, and they also have the ability to play action pass. And so we'll see, you know, just how physical we are and how we're going to match up. And so I do think it's a good measuring stick is to see where we're at this stage right now.
First couple of games, the bulk of the penalties called against Southern Miss were on the offensive side. It was a little bit different Saturday, where it was 3 or 4 offsides calls, I think 4 pass interference calls, and a personal foul call. Is that surprising to you, or and then what do you do to try to fix it?
Well, you know, it's one of those things you're constantly trying to prevent. You know, the foolish penalties. You know, penalties, aggressive penalties are going to happen. You know, and our guys, we're trying to get them to, you know, to be aggressive up front. So the offsides is like Coach Monken said. Every now and again, you're going to get them. If you want to get your guys geared up and ready to attack the football, you know, hard counts are going to be part of it, and we work on it. And you know, the late hits that, you know, are present, you know, those are things that, you know, obviously you want them to be aggressive. There's a fine line with being aggressive and where do you pull back. You know, on the pass interferences, you know, that's something we've got to work on. And, you know, there's a gray area of, all right, is it a foolish penalty? Those are the ones you got to prevent, obviously. Where there's aggressive penalties, those ones are going to happen, and we'll take some of those aggressive ones. We don't want to take the aggressiveness out of our defense, and so that's the one thing that we're trying to prevent. And guys learn from their mistakes if they're foolish and keep being aggressive. That's what we tell them.
When you go back and look at the tape, do you keep like a tally? Do you say, okay, that one was foolish, this one was aggressive?
Not keeping tallies on it, but we do make sure we make coaching points of all of our penalties, you know. But we don't tally them and say, all right, you've got, now we will know who's getting a lot of foolish penalties for sure. That's something you know, we try to discipline our guys that, hey, if you're killing us, then your rep's going to be cut, you know, for foolish penalties.
Nebraska is known for having those big, strong offensive linemen. Is that the case this year? And what do you do to combat that?
You know, they are big, they are strong, and, you know, they're going to try to run the football on us. And, you know, if the forces overwhelm, you know, Sun Tzu says be dynamic. So we've got, you know, hopefully we come up with a good plan this week to let our guys, you know, hopefully get on edges and not be, you know, be out physical. And we're pretty stout up in front of ourselves. You know, we've got Dylan Bradley, Mike Smith, Andrew Bolton, Quincy Russell. Those guys aren't small now. So I think we'll match up okay.
Never heard you reference the Art of War. Is that like every couple of months?
No, I've read it, but just one of those deals where one of those quotes you remember, you know.